Have you ever imagined what a day in the US would look like if everything just paused? No lights, no phones, no internet? The scary part? That pause might already be in progress, quietly, silently, and without anyone noticing. And the reason? A system so vital to modern life, yet so fragile, no one fully controls it. Let's start with a surprising truth. America's most vulnerable target isn't hidden behind barbed wire fences or deep underground. It's in plain sight. It's the power grid, something you rely on every single day but rarely think about. And that invisibility? That's what makes it so dangerous. Think about it. Your morning routine, your commute, your work, your entertainment, your security systems, even your food storage, all of it relies on the simple assumption that electricity will always be there. We don't question it. We just expect it. Now, you might assume something as critical as the power grid is rock solid, heavily protected, secure, and updated. But in reality, it's a massive decentralized network of over 3,000 utility companies stretching across 200,000 miles of high voltage lines. And here's the kicker. These utilities aren't speaking the same language. One might be using modern AI-driven diagnostics, while another might still be operating on a decades-old system, vulnerable to bugs and breaches alike. There's no single command center, no unified protection system. Instead, it's a patchwork. Public and private companies running different software, using different rules, and often struggling to keep up with cybersecurity needs. And this fragmented system is under constant attack. You may remember the Colonial Pipeline hack in 2021. It wasn't just a digital break-in. It caused widespread panic, gas shortages, and economic disruption across the East Coast, all from one ransomware attack. That same vulnerability exists in the power grid, except with even more catastrophic consequences. Here's where things take a darker turn. Because while the Colonial attack made headlines, most cyber intrusions don't.
In developing news today, a ransomware attack on one of the country's biggest oil pipelines is leaving many southern states with low fuel supply.
Many are quietly dealt with, or worse, go undetected. And they're not just coming from rogue hackers. We're talking about highly trained state-sponsored groups from nations like Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea, using cyber tools, not bombs. These aren't angry teenagers in basements. These are elite teams with funding, resources, and geopolitical objectives. Their goal isn't just chaos, it's leverage. But today's attackers have help: artificial intelligence. This isn't science fiction. We're not talking about robot armies. This is smarter, quieter, invisible warfare. AI is now being used to scan for weak points in real time, infiltrate systems without detection, and evolve rapidly to bypass traditional defenses. Imagine an algorithm that can mimic regular user activity so well it fools even the most advanced firewalls. That's already happening. Let's say a small utility company in rural Texas hasn't updated its systems in 5 years. An AI-powered cyberweapon can find and target that vulnerability faster than any human hacker. Multiply that scenario across thousands of utilities, and you get a sense of the scale we're dealing with. Ironically, the US, a leader in cyber technology, is also one of the easiest targets. Why? Because of how deeply connected everything is. Smart meters, remote grid controls, cloud services. They make operations efficient, but each one is a potential entry point. So why hasn't this been fixed? The answer lies in the structure itself. Unlike the military or intelligence agencies, the US power grid isn't under centralized control. Most utilities are private, and regulations are often voluntary or inconsistent across states. Companies have little incentive to spend millions on cybersecurity if it doesn't boost profits or satisfy investors. Meanwhile, global tensions are rising. The US and China are engaged in what many call a digital Cold War. But instead of nuclear weapons, the battleground is data, infrastructure, and AI dominance. Whoever leads in AI can control not just economies, but energy, security, and even public perception. Now picture this: a severe winter storm hits the Northeast. Power demand surges, and then a blackout. Hospitals lose power, traffic systems fail, communications go silent, emergency services are paralyzed. But this isn't caused by weather, it's a cyber attack. Not dramatic, not loud, just a line of code executed perfectly. The Department of Homeland Security has already warned, such scenarios are not science fiction, they're forecasts. Back in the Cold War, nations invested in missiles, bunkers, and shields. Today, the weapon is code, And the shield is awareness and preparation. But that shield, it's full of holes. So while AI accelerates the threat landscape, America's defense remains sluggish. And every day we ignore the fragility of our power grid, we gamble with our national stability. This isn't just an energy issue, it's a survival issue, because the next big war might not begin with a bang, but with a blackout. Hit like, tap subscribe, and tell me in the comments, what's your backup plan when the lights go out?